Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Wazir Madhani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Santi.
That's me.
And the magnificent Tonio.
Morning, boys. Excited
Morning.
as always to do this. Oh, how are you, Tommy?
Tony, I'm doing well this morning. How are you guys?
I am good. This is a very polite start to the morning.
Yes, we're going to be
This
very
is
polite
unusual.
today.
I instantly do not trust Tommy being this nice to us.
I can't imagine a reason why I would be, but well, I'm sure we'll find.
I mean,
out.
I've looked at. We've all seen the results from the weekend. I know that this is not going to continue for me. So, I'm bracing myself already.
Well, before then we get to United and all that amazing stuff. How was your weekend, guys?
I had a rough weekend. We had a tournament on Saturday. It didn't go well. And on top of that, I've had a swollen jaw. I had a clash with someone accidentally. I was left flat out for a...
Is this Tony's way of telling us he got into a fight?
Ooh.
I didn't get into
Just
a fight.
got into a bus stop.
No.
Tony,
No.
Tony,
No.
Tony, you need to be nice to the other team. This is not how you make friends,
There
Tony.
was a throw-in, and two of us, myself
There was a throw in, and you decided to throw more than just a ball. Get a few punches in there too.
Yeah, I punched myself, apparently. No. We clashed
Is the person
accidentally.
you got into a fight with yourself?
Okay, is there
Tony,
we're gonna have to
Tony,
find out
do
the
we need to
story.
talk about this?
All right, moving on. Yeah. Get your kicks in now, because this is as good as it gets for you. We know what's coming up.
Pretty
soon.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Might as well put a big tackle in early, lay down a marker.
Yeah.
If
But I
only
can tell you, an all-day tournament in the rain in October in Canada is not fun. It was cold. I was freezing. Some of my stuff is still soaked. Yeah.
I can almost feel that right now. How terrible that is.
Yeah.
And
You had a bit of an adventure yourself, didn't you?
yeah. We went on a kayak trip with some friends, and we experienced that sort of similar cold. Lots of rain. But it was super fun to go on a nice long kayak in Frontenac Park. I think we did about 26 kilometers, so a nice little outing. And it's unfortunate, Tony, that you hurt your jaw and you're going to be doing all this talk about tactics later on. So hopefully it heals up real quick.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be fine. Yeah.
Talk about the tactical benefits of accidentally punching yourself in the face.
All right. I'm ready. Let's move on to Man United 1, Everton 1. Since Azar
No.
Yes.
You don't do the transitions. I do the transitions.
Yeah, you are so power hungry
No.
with this stuff. It's,
I am.
Don't worry,
This
Tony.
is the only bit of this is the only bit of control I have.
Tony, you'll get your moment to strike back with
You will
Sancho,
get your time.
Sancho talk.
You will get.
Oh, that's right. Should I get that in early? No.
You want to get that
wait.
in now?
I'll
Nah,
wait.
savor
I'll
it.
wait.
Let it
Yeah.
simmer. Let it simmer for a bit and
All
then
right,
come out.
All right, fine. No, you know what? No, fine. We'll call an audible. We'll go off topic. Let's go. Man United 1, Everton 1. Tony, get your kicks in.
Wow. This is off script. I love it.
No, I was just saying. Look, we were going to talk about City Liverpool to start off because that was probably going to end up being one of the best games of the year. But no, let's do this because Tony can't wait. You impatient bastard.
I actually didn't have much to say about this game other than you guys look absolutely clueless. I mean, yeah. Look.
Hey, who doesn't want to see Man United concede the exact same type of goal in 3 different games?
I mean, listen. We're going to go to the City-Liverpool game later, but just the difference in intensity and tactical quality from that game, having seen the Man United game is incredible. Like, you guys have some...
I would just like to put a disclaimer on what I said in our first episode. I was asked who would win the Premier League right after watching a United Leeds game, and I cannot be held accountable for my opinions. I take no responsibility.
Oh, I forgot. You picked United to win.
Yeah.
You have no proof.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah.
That episode will be mysteriously deleted.
Yeah, United, I think, started well.
They actually played a good first half, but it's just, they will do something like they concede the same goal each and every time. They're rubbish in defensive transition. Like on the goal they conceded, you could see Fred chase Gray out to the wing. Great, that's exactly what he's supposed to do. It's his job. But then he loses the same duel twice.
Fred.
And that leaves the entire defense out of position. I just want to go one episode without having to mention Fred. Just one. Just one.
Man, he lost. Demarai Gray he's a slight player. Like, he's pretty small.
Yep.
Fred's not huge himself. Let's be honest.
But just foul the guy. If you're stopping a counter on a corner, just foul the guy at the halfway line.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything more than a yellow because you got help behind you.
Mm-hmm.
The more that I see this
guy's ankles.
The more that I see this United team, the more I'm convinced that it's just Frank Lampard in disguise managing this team, because they just look tactically just like lost. And
you know what? Lampard was a good offensive coach, right? Like, I don't even think Man United are a good team offensively. I think they just have a lot of really good offensive players. Like, they have a really.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at what patterns of play do we have? Mm-hmm. What is our build up other than shift the ball to the left side? Actually, our right side did quite well offensively yesterday, but generally it seems to be like shift the ball out to the left, get one of the wide players to either cut in or go down the byline and put a cross in. It's really basic at this point, and we having a basic structure is fine, but with how soft our midfield is and how vulnerable our midfield is, it just doesn't cut it. There's just, with the attacking players we have, our attack should be so much better than it is, and then right now it's less than the sum of its parts. Whatever, all it needs to make whatever adjustments and stuff over the international break, because our schedule on the other side of the international break is a fucking nightmare.
Did you say Ole needs to make some adjustments?
I can dream.
Wait, hire tacticians?
I can dream.
Soccer coaches to help him? That's
right now he's doing the equivalent of punching himself in the jaw. So,
hey, you must be happy though. Martial scored.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Tony's at the wheel. Tony's at the wheel, baby.
Yeah, replace. You seen that that video, that meme of Solskjaer trying to turn that vehicle around in the tight space? Yeah, just replace.
Oh yeah, the Austin Powers one.
Yeah, exactly. Just replace Solskjaer's space with mine. That's yeah. But
that's just Tony on a cold Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm. No, but I was gonna look. United they're one of the few teams in football that play with a true number 10 who plays like a second striker, right? Like Bruno Fernandes does not play in midfield at this point.
No.
Is that a big part of the problem that United face?
That's the thing where it's just okay, this system does get the best out of Bruno, because Bruno bursting late into the box and being able to create from that second striker, number 10 kind of role is brilliant. That's where he's at his best. But now, like you said, the question is with how weak our midfield is, would it be better to have him playing deeper? Because he does have the defensive work rate, but it's also just starting from that high up the pitch, whereas I think we need it further back. So I don't know. These are the questions that Solskjaer is paid to answer, and right now, it's not looking like he has a lot of answers.
Yeah.
Just going back to the schedule we have after the international break, we play, just list any big team in the Premier League, as well as Atalanta twice. and that's in our next 10 games.
Isn't it the Manchester Derby right for international break? Or
no, it's Leicester.
It's
Leicester.
Okay.
That's a bit further down
That's
the line,
but
okay. It's a murderer's row after the international break, and Solskjaer's in trouble.
What do you think about his subs bringing Ronaldo on, taking Cavani off?
Martial coming off was fine. He had a knock. Ronaldo had a bad game. He was not good. Cavani was giving us that a focal point to our attack, which was really helping. Whereas Ronaldo started drifting too much for my liking. Now, does Solskjaer have the authority to tell Ronaldo, "Hey, I need you to stay as a centre forward"?
He does not.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what I was hinting at, but I mean, way to ruin the subtlety.
Ferguson basically confirmed that he signed Ronaldo. He re-signed Ronaldo,
yes.
So we know who's really running things.
Wait, what did he say? Did he have an interview?
Yeah.
No, he was just one of the people that called Ronaldo.
Oh, okay, good enough. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but United could have lost it right at the end. Tom Davis, you have to shoot that. You have to shoot that. I mean, Yerry Mina shouldn't be getting caught offside.
Yerry Mina, one, he shouldn't be getting caught offside, and two, if you're scoring a goal that looks very offside and then you do that little dance, you had best be certain you're onside.
I think he just wanted to do the dance.
I don't know if you guys have seen Mina, he just wants to dance. Yeah. I just remember in the Copa America, he was taunting everyone in the PKs, and you guys remember that?
And then he got his comeuppance when he missed against
exactly. He always
Argentina.
gets his comeuppance, always.
It's just at some point he will learn, but I hope it's not soon because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but lots to think about. I will also like to retract my statement where I said my United will be title contenders this season. They will not. Very clearly.
No. That's on the record.
Yeah,
Tony, you forgot one.
That's real embarrassing for you.
Oh, what did I forget?
You forgot a certain person named Jordan Sancho.
No. Jordan
Did you
Sancho.
just call him Jordan Sancho?
Jordan Sancho.
Tommy, how have you managed to turn this on yourself?
Jaden. Oh, yeah, Jaden.
Oh,
you know what?
Hey,
come
Christ,
on.
Tommy.
Guys, move past that. That's not a big deal.
No,
come on. No,
we're not
go
moving
on.
past
Don't
this.
give Adair a out or anything like that. Tony,
Christ on a
just
bike,
go Sancho talk now.
Jordan Sancho. Okay. Jordan Sancho. Watch everybody. Game 9, 0 goals.
No. We should also no. We should also talk about Martin Rashford.
Was there? Game 9, 0 goals, 0 assists. Amazing.
Is it game 10 yet?
We are one game away. Listen, I'm not going to go into footage just yet. I'm just,
Yeah. No, I told you. We said a deadline. We said a time and date that we would chat about. Good old Jordan.
I am looking forward to this conversation. I mean, seeing the way you were so upset on Saturday when I brought up this name.
Look, I woke up for a 7:30 a.m. game, and then you're chatting shit to me. You expect me not to be upset? I was on 4 hours of sleep. You expect me not to be upset? I'm upset right now.
I missed this conversation and just reading it back and tell everyone this was super heated. Just reading.
Tommy, you can't remember player names. You stay out of this.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on.
Bookending it. Mm-hmm. We're moving on before. Enough out of both of you. To the game that should have started this off. Man City 2, Liverpool 2. Boys, these are the two best teams in the Premier League.
Easily.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, they've been the two best teams for the past, 4 years? Have they? Yeah, they've won the title.
Yeah, the last four.
The last 4 years.
3-1.
City have won it 3 times, but, it's, every time I've seen these two teams now, when they play each other, the intensity is so high. Like, the quality of the games is... Like, it's the best. It's probably the best fixture in the world right now. The best club fixture in the world. I can't think of a better one in terms of quality. The two best managers in the world as well. Yeah. At the start of the season, I was a bit unsure about what to expect from Liverpool. They had a rough year last season with Van Dijk being out. And with Wijnaldum having left, and Mo Salah and Sadio Mane and Firmino pushing towards 30, you're thinking, do they still have the legs to play this high intensity game that they have? But no. They took a while to get going on Saturday, but once they did, I mean, Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
He's been the best player this season. Like, if you're looking at consistency across the entire
100%.
season, he's been the best player. I mean,
is there a better player in the Premier League right now than Mo Salah?
Probably. I mean, usually it's De Bruyne who, I mean, he did score the equalizer right at the end, which points to his quality, but he's not looked at his sharpest lately. He had a bit of a broken preseason with injury and the Euros, but Salah's play for Mane's goal, that touch to get away from the defender and then the composure to release the pass at the right time, it's brilliant. And then the second goal, he Boateng, was it Matip that he spun around like that?
It'll be unusual if it was Matip, considering they're on the same team.
Oh, what is wrong?
Yeah, he sent Bernardo. Oh, Tony's now messing up. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right.
Who was it?
He put Bernardo Silva on the floor.
It might have been Cancelo.
Was it Cancelo? It wasn't Bernardo Silva.
Oh, Laporte. No, it was Laporte.
Yeah, it was Laporte.
Anyway,
what are you guys talking about?
I'm sorry. He beat like four.
He beat a lot of City players. So yeah.
So
I'm talking about the guy he Boateng who. Yeah.
Boateng.
Yeah.
He just flipped inside out.
Yeah, but and then a finish with his right foot, brilliant. It was a goal that deserved to win the game.
I'm going to be honest. The finish with the right foot was the most surprising part out of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he had it right. Yeah.
Yeah, but great game. I enjoyed it. I always look forward to these fixtures just to see how both teams are going to set up and approach the game. But
honestly, for me, like, it's kind of a humbling game because, I like to think that Chelsea is at this level, but then you watch these two teams in that second half at full flight, and Chelsea's definitely not there yet. We're kind of I would say even though we're champions of Europe, we're maybe a step behind these two teams when they're at their best. We're definitely still a title challenger. There's, no doubt about that.
I like how he just snuck in with the champions of Europe there while he's trying to.
I had to sneak that in.
We're not talking about.
Hey,
Chelsea
we're also top of the table here too. But I don't want to mention that. But yeah, no, I mean, I got it. Bernardo.
He said, no. He says he doesn't want to go much into that, but if he could, he would chat for an entire hour. I'm just trying
to distance myself from Jordan Sancho. That's all. Okay.
You brought it back up.
Yeah.
You just brought it back up.
I gotta say, Bernardo Silva.
Maybe this is why it hasn't worked out so far. We bought the wrong Sancho.
Yeah. Hey, does he have a brother in and any other siblings? Maybe he did. I was gonna say, like, Bernardo Silva. I don't know if you remember the chance that he set up for Foden.
That was
brilliant.
Oh
my God, that was like watching
brilliant.
Messi play out there.
Yeah.
He just shrugged off like 3 Liverpool players and kept going.
He has days when he's unplayable, Bernardo Silva. He's not been as consistent lately.
Yeah,
but
I mean, against Chelsea, the same thing. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, maybe he's just a big game player. The other games are too easy for him. I don't know.
He just seems like he can run forever too. He just never stops running. And we got he just lay out that pass for Foden. Foden terrorized Milner all game. That was the focal point for City there. It's really attacked that side. They were Milner should have been sent off, right? We all agree.
100%.
Second yellow, 100%.
He was very lucky to avoid that second yellow.
Yeah. It was worth it though, just to see Pep Guardiola.
Just to see Pep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love watching him lose his rag.
Yeah, you see him. He's taking off his jacket. I'm like, what? You want to get in the
fight? I don't know what the point of that was. Who was the fourth official? Was that Mike Dean just chewing his gum? And what was it?
I have no idea.
Oh, it was hilarious. He's losing his shit, and then the fourth official just chewing gum in the background.
They're used to this shit from Pep at this point. It's been 5-6 years of it. I mean, there was also the game-saving block by Rodri on Fabinho.
Unreal.
Fabinho should score. I mean, he should score, but it's. I think you were the one who said it harked back to John Stones' clearance and the corresponding fixture. Was it last season or two years ago? Right, 2 years ago.
It might have been 3 years ago at this point. 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, but Fabinho should score. Put that in the roof. Come on. But yeah, great play by Rodri. Man City, they're a team that I don't know. We've said it a few times. That first half, they should have scored. They should have scored. They had so many chances to put the ball away. They don't have a guy that you can rely on to put the ball in the back of the net. Jack Grealish, he played as the false nine, I guess, today. Or not today, but in that game. And he looked lost. Like, you can tell that he's never done anything like that before. And it's telling that he was the only sub that Pep made on the day, bringing on Raheem Sterling, who he looked better, I guess, than Jack Grealish. But listen, they've played.
Yeah, it was. I don't think either of them looked particular. Like, City's performance was weird because you had a few players playing absolutely out of their minds, like Bernardo, Foden, and then you had a few who were just kind of like, KDB wasn't at his sharpest, even though he scored. Like, it was a bits and pieces kind of performance from him. Grealish looked off. Sterling was he was okay when he came on. Jesus had a great run for Foden's goal. Mm-hmm. That was just and at the same time, you wouldn't say it was a complete performance from Liverpool either, which kind of added to the spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's evident that they're just missing some killer target man. Maybe not even target man, just an actual striker to put away these chances that create. Someone who's going to make those runs and finish all those. Because there were so many times where they were getting in the attacking spots, but there just wasn't someone in that middle, in between the center backs to just to be there.
I mean, having said that, they've played Chelsea and Liverpool.
And they haven't lost, yeah.
I think both games were away. They haven't lost. Yeah, they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool 2-2 at Anfield is a great result. So, what do we know? We know...
So what we're saying is that Spurs are the acid test. Because that's the only game they've lost.
I don't think you're going to find any agreement from Tommy.
No way.
Yeah. No, great game. Game of the season so far.
Yep.
Yeah, and looking forward to the return leg.
The return leg, yeah, definitely. And they'll probably be both at the top of the table at that time as well.
Yeah, okay. You're just trying to.
That is the defeatist mentality. You know what, Tommy? We'll give it to you. Let's just talk about Chelsea.
Why?
Chelsea 3, Southampton 1. Let's go, Tommy. Take it away.
I mean, they must have lost this week, right? The way you're talking.
Hey, I was very careful.
How can you beat this down on Chelsea when even Timo Werner?
It's the reverse jinx. He's trying to do the reverse jinx, basically.
I was very careful, after the disaster that was last week, to not mention anything about results or who's gonna win or whatever.
See, the thing is, though, when Tommy is quiet in our group chat, we're not sure if he's just trying to avoid jinxing things or it's because he's run out of his 100 megabytes of data that he has.
This is a thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is a thing. But anyway, go on.
Tommy does not believe in mobile phone plans.
Do not pay $80 a month for a damn mobile cell phone plan, whatever. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but reply to messages, Tommy.
I do, eventually.
Like 4 hours later when you find Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Anyhow,
you get a reply. Tommy takes 2 to 3
about
business days to reply to everything.
Were we talking about the top of the table team? Or yeah, that's what I thought. Anyhow,
Tommy, between the mobile data revelations and Jordan Sancho, you want to watch your words carefully today.
All right. Well, hey, Chelsea had lost their previous 2 matches, and we needed a response. I know how we're going to do it. We're going to play the same team. Nope. Tuchel decides to make some changes, and on comes Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I thought was kind of frozen out of this club for a bit, but hey, hats off to him. He had a fantastic game.
Honestly, not many players survive a loan spell at Fulham, so yeah, good on him.
Exactly. Chalobah comes in. He also scores off a flick from Loftus-Cheek. We made some changes, and they worked out. And that's kind of what you need when you're, I guess you can say we're in a bit of a rout of form where we hadn't won last 2 games, and we got the response from players who were on the bench. And that's great to see.
Having said that, you did rely on a bit of luck and stupidity on Ward-Prowse's part. First of all, before we get there, Ben Chilwell, what is he doing on that penalty? It's such a rash challenge. On was it Redmond that they fouled? I can't remember now. But Ward-Prowse puts the penalty away. But as you'd expect from a player of his quality. But then he inexplicably just goes with a
really terrible challenge. Yeah,
on Jorginho. He's trying to apply pressure. I get it, but he stood right on his Achilles. VAR. Was.
Can we just say how much VAR sucks? How can you take a goal back? Werner, he needs them desperately. They just want to take it back from him.
Honestly, at this point, taking goals away from Timo Werner is just a bit that the entire league is in on, and I'm here for it. I think I saw a stat. It's 16 disallowed goals.
That is insane.
It's actually an insane amount, yeah. Unreal.
That's fucking hilarious.
But it's even the foul that they called back on, it was against Azpilicueta, it was like a minute back. And it's at what point do you just let it go? And I don't even know if it was a clear foul, to be honest. It was very soft, if anything.
I didn't think it was a foul, personally. But, yeah. It's, you say VAR sucks. They bailed you out later. When, what was it? Martin Atkinson? I almost said Rowan Atkinson, but yeah, Martin Atkinson.
Oh my God! Hang on. Imagine Rowan Atkinson.
That would have been
managing refereeing a Premier League game.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Honestly, wouldn't be very different from John Moss, but
yeah.
At this point, get in celebrity refs. Why not?
Yeah, but he initially gave a yellow card, but on review decided to give a red, which I think was the right decision. And that definitely played into Chelsea finishing strong right at the end. I can't remember who scored Werner scored.
Werner, and then Chilwell had one after Lukaku and Azpilicueta decided to have a crossbar challenge. And then Chilwell comes in and nice finish.
Great finish.
Yeah. Got the goal line tech working, so that's good. At least that works. But yeah, even Ross Barkley came in. Another guy that I thought would never see the pitch again, but he actually set up that second goal for Werner with a I guess not really. It wasn't an assist, but it was a fantastic pass to kind of break the lines. And yeah, it's great to see these guys who I never thought would get in the squad come in. I don't know what this means for the likes of Ziyech. Seeing Mount back, he made a huge difference when he came on as well. And I really hope that when we do have a fit squad, it looks like, having Mount and Werner play alongside Lukaku might be our best attacking trio, I think.
All I'm getting from this is to drop every Chelsea player from fantasy.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, never
except
trust
maybe
Tuchel.
Except maybe Big Rom, but
we scored 3 and he didn't get any, so I don't know. I captained him this week and it was a really bad idea.
Yes,
this is why you just forget to check your team, and as a result, still have Salah as captain.
Yeah, and end up ahead of us by not even checking your team. That's demoralizing.
Sometimes the best management is doing nothing. Ask Ollie Solskjaer.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
I mean, speaking of nothings, Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. The 3-game winning streak is over for the Gunners, but it's another point on the road against a team that was challenging for the top 4 going into the week.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's one way to look at it. I would look at it as it's 4 games unbeaten, but, listen,
I think I was relatively positive.
Zara's just getting his little digs in for the start. I think it's a fair game.
You literally started by saying, speaking of nothings. How do you go?
Well, yeah, because both teams scored nothing.
Okay. Anyway,
that's the little link there. Yes. I thought it was a perfectly good transition.
It is a fantastic transition, just not a positive transition.
Look, nothing is neither positive nor negative. It's nothing.
Okay. Anyway, I thought Brighton were really good. Graham Potter, if Tottenham and Man United get rid of their managers and they don't look at Potter, something is seriously wrong with the guys running those football clubs. Like, Graham Potter should have been top of the list for Spurs, I think. He's a really good manager. Even at Östersunds and Swansea, he's been brilliant. But speaking on this game, it felt like he had to look at what Arsenal did against Spurs, and he tweaked his system a bit because he normally plays a 3-4-3, but he set up as a 3-5-2 instead, and they cut off a lot of the passing lanes that we want to get into midfield, into Thomas Partey and Odegaard. And Arsenal started pretty well, but once Brighton got a foothold in the game, we just couldn't get out. And they put us under a lot of pressure. They didn't really create any clear-cut chances, but it felt like going back to last season's Brighton, where they have a relatively high XG but can't put any of the chances away. But
I thought Cucurella looked phenomenal, and
yeah,
it was just absolutely running up and absolutely running that wing of his.
Yeah, he was their outlet basically. It was definitely the toughest test Tomiyasu had since he joined the league.
I also think more footballers need to bring back the long flowing hair, because it's lovely to watch it just flying in the breeze as he's taking on Tomiyasu.
Yeah, he's been a highly rated player for a while now, Cucurella. It kind of caught me by surprise that he was at Brighton. Found that out I think a week ago, but yeah. I
will say this was also Brighton without Bissouma. If I'm
it was
wrong,
yeah,
right?
he missed it.
He missed it, and they more than compensated with the way they set up. I mean, all things considered, I'm happy with the point. I said last week that this back five have to play together every week. They really do. Because when on games like this, when you're not added, you need to be able to keep clean sheets, and I think they did that. Despite being under a lot of pressure, they kept Brighton out in terms of the quality of chances. They protected their box really well, and Aaron Ramsdale made a brilliant last-ditch intervention right at the end against Neil Maupay to stop him from stealing the points for Brighton, which would have been really upsetting for Arsenal fans everywhere, because he has a history of being a bit of a dickhead.
That's for sure. Yeah,
Aaron Ramsdale just does not care.
Yeah,
for content, does he?
No, he does.
It's disappointing, really.
Neil Maupay is the reason that Martinez, Emiliano Martinez, has a Premier League career right now. He's the one that injured Brent Leno and gave Martinez that 1 month spell. But Arsenal need to figure out where they're going to go from here, because teams have watched them now after their performance last week, and they've set up to neutralize some of their threats. So Arteta's going to have to do some coaching this week or in the next 2 weeks.
Look, It helps when you don't have an extra midweek game in the Europa Conference League to worry about,
Ooh.
which is something that
I just
Spurs
found out
have
as a
to
thing.
deal with. Yeah,
As well.
One, Tommy did not know that the Europa Conference League existed until maybe 10 minutes before we started recording. 2, Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 1. Tommy, please tell us more about what you've learned about the Europa Conference League and how you should definitely be playing Harry Kane in it.
Yeah, Europa Conference. More reason to shit on Spurs. Like,
Oh, this is unfair to Spurs because they actually played very well this week.
No.
But
well, no, we're not on how they played yet. We're just trying to say like. So I thought the whole time Europa. I thought they were in the Europa League.
It's fallen to me to defend Spurs.
No. You can defend them in a second.
This is what we've come to.
But I thought. I was like, oh yeah, Harry Kane, he got a hat trick in the Europa League, and Tony's like, hold on here, Europa League, no, Europa Conference. I'm like, what the fuck's Europa Conference?
It was a competition made entirely for Spurs, okay, just for them.
So I don't know maybe win a title. Is this what it's for?
I actually don't know who else is in the competition. I just know Spurs are in it. That's yeah.
I know that they played a team called Mura, spelled Mura, and when someone sent me that, I thought they'd accidentally misspelled Lucas Moura's name, and that generally tells you the level of teams that are in that.
Yeah.
But Europa Conference League aside,
I would like to point
Spurs
out that
played really no.
I would like to point out that they have lost a game in this competition. Okay, now we can move on.
Did Harry Kane play that game that they lost?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah. Either way, so those goals don't count. But you know what? Positives for Tottenham is they have a guy named Son on their team, and he is phenomenal.
He was brilliant, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Fair play to Kane. I thought, barring the finish, which
is his job,
still seems to be evading him, I thought he still played well. I thought he still had like his best game of the season so far.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like
with that.
he actually was. It was like he was actually like, because when he drops and links up play, Spurs move so much more fluidly because it allows Son to run beyond him.
Yeah.
And when Son is running at you, defenses are scared.
Yeah.
It was definitely the best game I think Spurs have played this season, attacking football-wise. They were very fluid. Defensively, they're still, that shakiness is there. Even Aston Villa, for as much as we've applauded them, I think the last 2 weeks for being a great team to watch, they have their own defensive woes as well. But yeah, Spurs definitely played better attacking wise than they have, I think, previous couple games for sure.
Yeah, I guess it remains to be seen if the absolute hiding they got in the North London derby will shake some sense into them, make them actually take a look at themselves and sort things out. But I guess that remains to be seen. Other results around the league. Wolves
we
beating
should,
Newcastle.
I don't think we mentioned that. We did mention the actual score. It's 2-1.
I did mention it. I mentioned it at the top.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Don't worry, Tony.
You don't listen. I know you don't listen.
We
to
didn't
me.
talk about any of the goals.
It's forgetful.
We didn't talk about any of the goals, but
yeah. Look. We gave Spurs like 5 minutes of praise after we shat on them for 5 minutes, and I think that's all they deserve.
All right, I'm not gonna argue with that. Move on. Yeah.
There you go. I know how to keep you boys on side.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. We have Wolves beating Newcastle 2-1. I believe both goals were scored by Hwang Hee-chan.
Mm-hmm.
Jimenez picking up an assist.
2 assists.
And might have been 2, yeah. I don't know. Looked like the start of something there.
Yeah, that's a good pickup for Wolves. I think he's never been prolific. I can't remember where he was just before. He was at Salzburg at some point, but yeah, he's never been prolific, but he's a really good channel runner. He will get he will do what I guess Son in a way is meant to do for Kane, in that he'll do a lot of the running for Jimenez, kind of draw some attention away from him. So if he can start chipping in with some goals too, that would be really good for Wolves, because Jimenez needs some help up front, and it looks like they're starting to pick up, which is good for them. But as for Newcastle,
it's time to worry for Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm starting to get worried, to be honest.
I think Newcastle fans have been in a perpetual state of worry for the last however many years at this point.
I mean, we had a sort of a guessing game for who's going to pick up their first win. I don't think any of us said Newcastle yet. I mean, Norwich didn't get. I guess they got their first point of the season.
Norwich managed to draw 0-0 with Burnley in a game that I was lucky enough to watch, and that I would like 2 hours of my life back for.
Yeah, shout out to Evan, the only Burnley fan we know. But
that was painful. That was bad. It was 2 bad teams playing bad football. I hated it. I hated every second
I
of
missed
it.
this one, yeah.
No, don't be sad. This is the one you don't have to be sad about missing. This was not a good game of football. Like, there was a few chances both ways, but I'm going to be honest, it's all a hazy mess.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And honestly, it's 2 teams that, well, Norwich, we know are in trouble. Burnley, they might need to start worrying. They didn't have Max Cornet for this game, but without him, like, they looked a little bit short on ideas.
Yeah, they haven't won a game this season, right, Norwich?
No.
Nope. They're one of...
Yeah. This is a game
one of 4 teams, I think.
Yeah, this is a game you should be winning. I don't know. Norwich are basically a gimme for everyone this season, so if Burnley aren't winning that, you have to wonder if...
The one thing with Burnley, though, is they've always been, like, notoriously, like, slow starters, and then they'll always pick it up once the weather turns. That's when Burnley turn up.
This is true, yeah.
They're like, once the first autumn leaf hits the floor. But yeah, we'll see. It's, I mean, if you're not beating Norwich at home, you have to be concerned. But you know, they have a history of pulling it out of the bag, so you know, maybe they'll do it again. One team that did manage to get their first win were Leeds United, picking up a 1-0 win at home against Watford.
That was a really good finish from Llorente, off balance on the corner, but fully deserved. I think Leeds were the better team in this game.
Yeah, I mean this game also precipitated. Words are hard. This game also precipitated.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna use a different word.
Use a different word.
This game also just led to the firing of Disco Cisco. Poor Cisco. The Watford can't go like half a year with the same manager, and
but a return of a great
dilly ding dilly dong.
Yeah,
he's back, ladies
Claudio
and gentlemen.
Ranieri is back, which means
Watford are winning the league.
Watford are winning the league. What, in 2 seasons maybe? Next season.
Ismail Assar turns into a 30-goal a season striker.
Yeah.
Troy Deeney comes back, lifts the Premier League.
Where is Ranieri coming from? Where was he managing previously? Was he in Italy?
He was at Sampdoria for a bit.
Yeah, he was at Roma before that, right? I think.
Well, it was a while back. I think Sampdoria was his last job, where I think he just left once his contract was up.
Gotcha. Okay, so he was okay. No, I mean, it's nice to have Claudio back. He's one of the nicest guys in football.
Yeah, he was at Roma before Sampdoria. I wasn't wrong. Come on now.
But it's been
I said it was before that. Come on, Tony. Don't get defensive.
You said it was a while back. As if I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Do you ever, though?
Let's move on, please.
The team that continues to defy my expectations. Brentford.
Yeah.
Boy, they played great.
Yeah,
beating West Ham.
They had an explosive start to the game. The first 10, 15 minutes, they were brilliant. And it seemed once they scored, it kind of shook West Ham into life. They started creating a lot of chances. But I think Jared Bowen was one who scored. That was like his first game in 16 matches or something crazy like that. But, Visa with the winner, or another late goal to get valuable points for Brentford. That was it's a nice finish after a bit of ping pong around the box. Great finish by Visa. Fabianski, no chance in the 95th minute. Gotta love a 95th minute winner.
Yeah, they're up to seventh place.
Can't go wrong with them.
7th place in the league, 3 wins, 3 draws. Yeah, Brentford are definitely defying my expectations. Hats off to them. Honestly, Tony and Mbeumo? Yeah, great. I mean, Tony made that pass. I don't know who it was for, running in on the right side.
It was Sergi Canos.
Was it Canos? Yeah, and then Mbeumo follows it up. They link up well. Fun to watch for sure. I hope they continue to keep this run of form.
When you said Tony's name for a second there, I thought you were about to praise Tonio and myself for predicting Brentford to have a good season, but
no. But wait, you know what?
I'm not.
I will do one thing.
I'm not surprised.
I will do one thing. Tony did get the prediction last week spot on.
Thank you, Tony.
So I'll give him that. Kudos for that for sure.
Can't believe you've given him that. I mean, speaking of one of those teams involved in that prediction, Crystal Palace picked up another very impressive point, this time at home to Leicester. Boys, Leicester are not having a good time.
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace will be disappointed with this result.
Yeah.
Actually, the 2 goals they conceded came from absolutely nothing. I can't remember. Was it Schlupp? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it was the center back just kind of gave it away for the first one, I believe. Just got it stuck in his feet.
I think it was Anderson, Joachim Anderson, he was trying
Joachim,
just trying to dribble out, and then he loses the ball, and Kelechi Iheanacho scores with Leicester's first chance of the game, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Palace just had a shaky 10-minute spell, and Leicester capitalized, but they refound their feet, and Vieira's got some interesting options. I mean, he has Edouard to turn to if he doesn't start. He brought on Olise, who brilliant reactions to score the first goal after he didn't make clean contact initially. And then Leicester City legend Schlupp with the last-minute equalizer. Premier League winner.
Jeffrey Schlupp.
Mm-hmm. Breaking Leicester hearts right at the end. But Palace are looking much better than I expected. Good on Vieira. It looks like he's doing a good job there. And hopefully they can pick up some more wins, because that's what they're going to need to see up relegation.
Now, didn't we all said Crystal Palace, right, for relegation?
Yeah, I definitely did.
I think we all agree. I definitely did too.
I have no recollection.
But they have a good manager in Vieira, and he set up very well. I mean, what do they have, like 18 shots that game? 60% possession. They would be very. I think they're gonna feel aggrieved that they didn't get the 3 points. But Leicester is just one. I'm not sure. Where does Leicester go from here? They're in a poor run of form. They can't close games out. Are they still feeling the effects of blowing back-to-back top 4 finishes in the league, or what's going on?
I suspect it's just going a bit stale with Rodgers in there. I mean, it's not. How often do you see managers stay in the job this long without actually achieving much of anything? Like they should have.
No, hang on.
Well, they got an FA
Rodgers
Cup.
Did win an FA Cup.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
You can't say he's not achieved much, if anything. Back-to-back 5th place finishes at an FA Cup are good achievements, but it might just be the disappointment of missing out on the top 4 again. I think I agree with Tommy on this one.
Yeah, that's more what I meant. They're 2 seasons. Look, the FA Cup's amazing. I love the FA Cup personally, but I think they'd trade the FA Cup for the Champions League. I'm not the fans, but there are players in that dressing room who would prefer to be playing in the Champions League. Especially when you see the way that they lost it on the final day of both seasons, of the last two seasons. So, yeah. Who knows? I mean, it is still early days. They might bounce back. Jamie Vardy's still scoring goals. But, yeah,
It definitely feels like the international break is coming at the right time for them. Because they need a chance to reset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Salah doesn't have anything to work with there, but he somehow kept the ball. Incredible feat by Mohamed Salah. And he goes on! Oh, my word! You will never see a better goal in such a game. The man is simply incredible. It's a quite stunning moment.
Gentlemen, we're 7 games into the Premier League season, and now that the table is starting to take form and develop, and we're seeing how teams are deciding to play, we wanted to take a bit of a deeper look at the sort of tactical trends that are going on in the Premier League. Now, I personally support a team that does not believe in tactics. We're a team of vibes and Fred, but no tactics. So, Tony, why don't you get us started? Like, what have you been noticing around the Prem in the sort of like the early goings of this season?
Yeah, so before I really dive right into it, it's important to remember that a lot of these coaches, they take the same courses, the same classes, they know the same principles, right? So a lot of them are trying to achieve the same thing, just in different ways. So, and you can see that in the way, especially the ones who are really tactically, how do I put it, really tactically aware. You can see that in the way they set up their team. So I'll start with Arsenal, for instance, since I watch them the most. And they set up their team, or Arteta sets up his team using the WM principles, if not the WM formation specifically, in that you have the M in the system is formed with a back 3, at least in possession, and 2 midfielders right in front. And then you have 2 attacking midfielders in front of those 2 holding midfielders, and then 3 attackers in front of that. So this system actually has roots is steeped in Arsenal roots, actually, with Herbert Chapman, the first on record to implement this system in the early 30s, around the time when the offside rule changed, I believe. And the way Arteta uses it is very different in that he pushes a fullback really high up, and typically Kieran Tierney pushes up into the left wing position, and he uses 2 center backs, one typically a left footer on the outside left, and the other center back being in the central position. Then he uses the right back. He uses him to tuck in. And that way, there are 2 advantages for that. One, it creates a lot of passing angles, a lot of diamonds. If you can draw it out on paper, I wish we had some kind of graphic that I could use. But it creates a lot of passing angles to exit.
Tony, I'm not willing to do the video editing for that just yet. you're gonna have to up my budget if you want that.
I will speak to Ahmed, don't worry. Yeah. But yeah, the advantage is, one, the passing angles that are created under possession, under pressure when in possession. It allows you to pass around. If you're structured properly, it allows you to pass around a press. But also, what it means is that you are set up to be able to deal with a counter if things break down while you're in possession. So by keeping the right fullback tucked in, you have a player who is comfortable defending on the outside in a deeper position, as opposed to if you played with a flat 4-4-2 with both fullbacks pushing on. So this is nothing new, really. I mean, Arteta's experimented with other systems, But another team that occasionally uses this system, not as much since he left, since Arteta left them, is Man City. They also use a right fullback tucked in, all the way in possession, in the first phase of possession. Typically that's Kyle Walker. But instead of using Cancelo to push up as high up as Kieran Tierney, Guardiola has since tweaked his system to use one of his old favorites, a 3-1-3-3, with a false nine being at the top of the system, in that three at the top. And he uses a back three to provide structure with a holding midfielder in front. And then the rest of the players are allowed to change positions as needed. So,
now, Tony, the personal bit of Guardiola's tactics that I'm most interested in is the bit that came out this preseason about him looking at geese. How do geese formations factor into the 3-1-3-3? Please enlighten me. You are more tactically astute than I am, so maybe you can give me some insight into Guardiola's I was gonna say fascinating mind. I think he's actually insane to a certain degree, but yeah, please, the geese, Tony. I need to know.
You know what? I actually do remember this now. I think it was something about the patterns that they migrate with. I've not looked into it, but I'm pretty sure that's...
Will we see the false nine honking at the other players in order to pass messages?
Maybe that's why Jack Grealish...
I wouldn't put it past Guardiola to enforce Morse code via honks.
That's probably
perhaps
why Grealish got taken off, because he wasn't honking enough.
All I'm getting from this
right?
is that Pep is going to some next levels for some tactics. He's looking at the animal kingdom now. Like, that's just...
If you
this
go
is why
to
he's
your
getting
local
paid
zoo,
so much.
if you go to your local zoo or any safari or wildlife tour, odds are you will run into a Man City coach that has been sent on an expedition by Pep.
Oh boy, where do I go from here?
Where does anyone go from here? Slightly derailed it.
Yeah, no, but Guardiola likes this system because it's very difficult for center backs to decide who they're going to pick up, because the idea is you can see any one of 4 or 5 players rotating into that position, so it's difficult to man mark a player. And it's also why he's not particularly bothered about having a center forward. Probably one of the attractions of Ronaldo is that he's comfortable across anywhere in the front three, as well as having high football IQ and really good technique. So no doubt he'll be looking for a more fluid striker in the future. Harry Kane has shown an ability to drop into deeper positions, but he's not very comfortable in wide spaces. So it'll be interesting to see if that pursuit continues or if he looks elsewhere. But Brighton are another team who use a similar system. They more use the WM principles in build-up, although they moved away from that to counteract Arsenal's system in the 0-0 draw. And I've mentioned on several occasions that Graham Potter is a very interesting coach for, with all due respect to Brighton, bigger clubs to look at. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. He's used similar systems while he was at Östersunds. First time I saw him was when Östersunds beat Arsenal in the second leg of the Europa League when Wenger was still there. And by all accounts, he's done a good job everywhere he's gone. So that's been interesting. But yeah, it's no surprise really that you look at some of these coaches who are really tactically astute, really tactically aware, and then you have the likes of Frank Lampard and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who tend to struggle in these bigger games because, you know, as Uzair said, they don't really do tactics. They rely on vibes, and that's a big disadvantage that Man United have right now. Teams will scout.
Works against City twice a year. That seems to be about it. Guardiola's geese can't counter the vibes.
Yeah, that's probably more Pep. Just, I don't know, being Pep and overcoaching. But Yeah, it's every team in the Premier League. They're paying a lot of attention to tactics now, and it just feels like it's a big gap in Man United's repertoire right now. I don't think Arteta's lost to United, which is insane when you consider
maybe I can't remember what happened in the game at the Emirates last year. I know we lost at Old Trafford.
Emirates was a 0-0. It was a 0-0 game.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but we didn't.
I would have purged that from my memory.
Yeah, I fully expected us to lose that game because we didn't have Aubameyang, we didn't have Xhaka, we didn't have Partey, but yeah, somehow
not having Aubameyang is not that much of a detraction.
Have you seen our other options?
Yeah,
about
the same as Aubameyang.
Anyway, United have a really talented squad, but it just seems crazy to me. It's possibly the reason why they've not signed a midfielder, because Ole doesn't know the kind of midfielder he wants. I've seen.
I mean, just look at the Van de Beek signing, and that kind of points in that direction as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, Man United, they're at their best when they sit in and spring on the counterattack, because that relies less on positional play, shall we say? And
that's not the attacking pattern, right?
Yeah, but
that's United thrive when there's chaos.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is their chaos agent. If you look at the way he plays for Portugal, it's very different. It's very different because he's not allowed to just abandon all midfield principles and stand in the penalty spot and wait for things to happen or try and make things happen. He's a brilliant player.
On one hand, yeah, but on the other hand, it is kind of fun to mess about with the chaos.
Yeah,
you get entertaining games out of it. Will you win most of them? Probably not. But you know,
yeah,
heart rates will be through the roof.
Yeah,
I'm stressed. I'm just stressed all the time watching them play.
Yeah,
it's chaos at both ends of the pitch when you only want chaos at one end.
I can see Zara really doesn't want me to talk about United's tactics or lack thereof. So I just think United have so many interesting players, but they need a manager who's gonna give them an identity to play with when things aren't going well, when the games aren't fun. You know, when teams aren't like Leeds United or Newcastle and just let you play. And right now, I have no idea what Solskjaer is trying to do, which is no surprise. But one team that does have a plan, Chelsea, Tuchel's Chelsea. They've been brilliant since he took over from Lampard. And anything you've noticed, Tommy, about your...
Well, I just want to add that I'm happy that Ole is still at the wheel, and I hope he continues, regardless of Tony's tactics and talk and all this.
We covered this for the Everton game. Move on.
No, I just want to say, Tony, you make great points, but I hope United don't.
Bring up Jordan Sancho again.
I hope United or anyone involved in United don't listen to this podcast and figure out, oh wait, we do need a better manager. I hope that doesn't happen, at least for this season.
If someone from United is listening to this podcast, please reach out to me on Twitter at JLazaire. I'd love to work for you.
Okay.
I will leave these two in an instant.
In what capacity? As a football coach or as a...
Yeah, hey, I mean, we're all in the running for a United manager. I mean, Tony's got the tactics down. I feel like he'd do a good job there, to be honest.
I'm doing my badges, I'm just saying.
No, I mean, honestly, I think Tuchel was just dare I say, perfect signing for us as a manager. I mean, I don't want to say Frank was tactically inept, because, like you guys mentioned earlier, he was a good attacking. At least he knew how to set up his team in an attacking way. Yeah. But it was super evident. I mean, I know I complained about this a lot when he was a manager, but like, he did not know how to set up his team defensively. When we were struggling, he did not. He just seemed clueless in terms of shape and where he wanted people to play. Even on set pieces, like players looked lost when we didn't have possession of the ball. And you see Tuchel come in. Oh, yeah, go, Tony.
No, it just looked like he didn't coach defending.
Yeah.
It seemed like his emphasis was on going forward. He didn't provide them with a structure to deal with what happens in transition, you know? But I did like a lot of what Lampard was doing on the ball. But
I mean, he gave. I mean, I know we had a transfer ban, but he gave a lot of the youth a chance. And we have Mason Mount to thank him for that. He turned out to be just one of our best players on the team. Reece James as well. I mean, we had Tomori playing as well. He's in AC Milan now, but I mean, he's a fantastic center back. I think he just got called. He got called up for England as well for the qualifiers next week. So yeah, good for him. But yeah, I mean, you were mentioning, that the what is it, WM formation, playing three at the back. That's something that Tuchel came in and did instantly, and I think we saw Rudiger playing in it with just two at the back. You can see Rudiger isn't as great as a defender. He's more rash. But when you play three at the back, a lot of those deficiencies are kind of hidden, right? And it kind of works out. Tuchel comes in, he just kind of finds out what works best for most of the players. And that means, Choa was huge for Lampard. Tuchel comes in, and now we play Alonso, because just Alonso playing in with two wing backs like Tuchel does. And that's something that I've noticed in terms of teams like Liverpool. You have these fullbacks now that are almost just like attackers. They're not almost as like defenders. Like you see Trent play. Trent is a fantastic attacker, fantastic fullback. He's cutting in now. He's almost playing, as a playmaker himself at times when teams have possession. Reece James, same thing. He hugs the touchline a bit more when he plays. But again, players getting forward.
I would say you're noticing it even in teams slightly lower down in the table, like Aston Villa moved to a three at the back formation as well in order to free up Matty Cash to get further forward and play a similar role to your Reeses and your Trents and all that. And it's the three at the back formation slowly like bleeding down the league. And it's led to the liberation of the fullback.
I mean, look at João Cancelo as well, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches are seeing formations. They're seeing formations less and more just worrying about positions in different phases, right? Because as Tommy said, Chelsea push both wing backs really high up, and then they give them the structure using the back three. What Liverpool do, for instance, because there are a lot of similarities in the way they play, because they have symmetry right down the middle as well. Trent and Robertson push way up, but then they drop Fabinho back in that first phase of play. They use Fabinho to worry about, to help with building up the play, and then Firmino drops into midfield to create those passing angles, right? To make sure that we have those diamonds all over the pitch. So, it's just interesting to see that, to see how coaches try and find different solutions to what is usually a similar problem for all the teams involved.
Hey, Tony, I have a question.
Sure.
What do you think is the most important position on the pitch now?
The most important position on the pitch, I would say, is midfield still.
Still midfield?
I think it's still midfield, yeah. I think you can't have the wrong profile of player in midfield for the system you want to play. It just won't work. I know fullbacks, for instance.
Yeah, I guess we have really United unfortunate if my team had that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't really matter how much talent you have up front. I mean, defense, you can kind of keep people out, but in midfield, if you don't have players, I mean, look at Liverpool, right? Henderson is the perfect midfielder for Trent. He's the perfect midfielder. He pushes on outside of Trent. I think 2 years ago, what Liverpool used to do, they used to push Trent all the way up. He used to get forward a lot more and score a lot more goals. What they do now is they push Henderson up a lot, making decoy runs. And then Trent tucks in and then tries to create a bit from a deeper position. And I saw a stat going around that Trent has the most passes in the box in the Premier League this season. He's created the most chances in the Premier League this season, and he's a right back, right? Like that's crazy. But a lot of that comes from the fact that Henderson he has that engine and that ability to go up and down, up and down. You don't want Bernardo Silva covering for Trent. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have the right profile of player for the way you want to play. And Liverpool they've recruited intelligently in that respect, as have Man City. And then you have other clubs like Arsenal who, I mean, yeah, they're a work in progress, right? And then you have Man United who have not signed a midfielder, or they've signed one midfielder in 5 years, which is insane. But listen, I think it's been interesting just watching. I'm a tactical nerd when it comes to this stuff. Like I'm always looking for...
I couldn't tell.
I'm always looking for different trends, different coaching trends, and trying to learn. I'm hoping to, like, when you're at the younger levels, you don't tend to work on tactics as much. But when you start getting to U15s, U14s, and up, then you start to implement these tactics and just trying to learn a lot of these things to implement them when I have the opportunity to. So, the Premier League's become... It wasn't always the case that we had a lot of tactical managers in the Premier League, but I think Conte started the revolution of...
Hey, we owe it to Arsenal for beating us in that game, and Conte just switched his formation. Yeah,
switched to his back three. Yeah.
Thank you, Arsenal. Yeah, for that title.
You are so welcome. But a lot of the coaching in the Premier League has shot up in the past 4 years. I mean, Pep and Klopp coming in as well.
Pep and Klopp will help with that.
Yeah, they've inspired the whole generation of young coaches. It seems you have young English coaches as well are implementing these principles, and the Premier League will be better for it. So we're 7 games in. Let's see how the trend continues moving on.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how things evolve over the course of the season. And with that, I think that's all the time we have today. All that's left is to say, please follow us on Instagram, on Twitter @442. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Cheers, Zer and Tony. It was good. And I look forward
getting
to
one last shot in.
I was going to say something about Chelsea, but
that's enough. We're cutting you off.
Yeah, that's enough.
No, we're cutting you off. Thank you for no.
I missed last week's Tommy. He was so much.
I know.
Yeah.
We need Chelsea to lose a bit more often. But thank you for joining me, Tony.
Pleasure as always, Zer and Tommy. Yeah.
Pleasure sometimes, Tony.
Cheers.
I'm happy.
Should we bring up Sancho? What won the last time?
All right, that's enough. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
0 goals, 0 assists.